Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Anat Pranams. Thank you very much for joining in for our Teachings of Queen Kunti study sessions, almost concluding sessions, last few chapters. We hope to complete it this week. So let's begin with our prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरं। हरिः ओं तत्सत्। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तडालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। Krishna. So the last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, when we discussed the teachings of Queen Kunti, we were talking about how Kunti Maharani is praying to Lord Shri Krishna that if you think that we are now safe and we got the kingdom, Yudhishthira Maharaj is ruling the kingdom, so now we don't have any problems, and that is the reason you are going to Dwaraka. And Kunti Maharani says, no, we are having a lot of problems. You don't have any shelter other than you, O Lord Shri Krishna. So please, please, please remain with us always, right? So in this way, Kunti Maharani is expressing her love, her devotion, her helplessness, right? We all need to do that, right? We don't have any other shelter other than Krishna in this world, right? Unnecessarily, we are hoping to take shelter from all of these material so-called people, relatives, bosses, and when we try to take shelter from the people of this material world, we are always frustrated because nobody can provide shelter to anyone else, right? We can only provide shelter as much as we are dependent on the Supreme Lord, right? So we only become representatives that so and so is under my care and has been assigned to the Lord in my care, right? So I do my best, but I don't claim to give protection to my dependents. Why? Because I myself cannot give my protection to my own self. How can I give protection to others? So I'm only trying my best in protecting myself and in protecting my dependents by increasing my dependence and increasing their dependence on Krishna. When we understand they're completely dependent on Krishna, and Krishna is our eternal well-wisher, Suhradam Sarvabhutanam Jnatva Mam Shanti Mrichati, then we will have the necessary peace. That is most essential for us to function in this world. We need peace. And we need peace when we understand Krishna is in control. Krishna is my best friend, so I don't have to worry. I simply have to do my duty, and whatever Krishna gives me, whatever happens to me, is by the mercy of the Lord, is by the mercy of Lord Krishna, who is my best friend. So why should I worry? All right. Cutting off ties of affection. Yeah, and one more important thing we also discussed is association of the Lord. Kunti Maharani is having personal association with the Lord, and how we can also have this association with the Lord. We can always request the Lord to never leave our hearts, and that is one opportunity all of us get during Brahma Muhurta time, where we want to continuously be engaged in the service of the Lord. We are to be continuously be engaged in the association with the Lord, and that is always possible for us at all times. Simply when we engage in the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, because Abhinatva Nama Namino, the Lord and His holy names are non-different. Yeah. Okay, so I was hearing someone's class. The person was saying, see, everything can be taken away from us, right? But our thinking of, and even if our tongue is taken away for some reason, you are not able to, Hare Krishna cannot be taken by any, because that is a free will that even Krishna does not want to interfere with. So as long as we have this lolium, this intense desire to wanting to chant Lord Krishna's names, to want to glorify Krishna, to want to hear about Lord Sri Krishna, then nothing in this world can prevent us from doing that. Okay, what is happening here? I am unable to share. Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yeah. So it's taking some time. We can meditate on this. That as long as my desire never be taken away, Sir Krishna, to always glorify Krishna, to always hear about Krishna. Mat chitta mat gata prana bodhayanta parasparam gatayantasya mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So the devotees are satisfied simply by hearing about the glories of the Lord. Bodhayanta parasparam, discussing about Lord Sri Krishna amongst the devotees. Mat chitta mat gata prana bodhayanta parasparam. And in this way, what do? Katayantasya mam nityam. They sing the glories of the Lord. Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. And in this way, they derive their pleasure in glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if you are always, voice break. I hope my voice is clear now. There was some hanging, the system hung, the laptop was hanging for some time. I'm back now. Like Kunti Maharani is always praying for the association of the Lord, asking the Lord to stay, please stay here. So like that, we also have to beg the Lord every day in the morning. What is our begging? We are begging the Lord to kindly engage us in your service. Because we are engaged in the service of the Lord, we are always in the Lord's association, like that. All right, so now we are starting with chapter number 24 of the teachings of King Kunti. There are about 26 chapters. So 24, 25, 26. So let's quickly go ahead. Cutting off ties of affection. Chapter number 24. Atha Vishve Vishwatman Vishwamurte Swakeshu me Snehapasham imam chindi Dridam Pandushu Vrishnishu. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please, therefore, sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. Yeah. So Prabhupada is going to explain how from both the sides, from the father side and the mother side, I want to cut off all the relations. Cutting off all the relations means it's not that we don't have any emotions. We understand that our connection is because of our connection with Lord Sri Krishna. Mame Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. That in relation to Krishna, we can have connection with everybody. Vasudevai Kutumbakam. But if you're having material bonds and affection, then that independent of the Lord, then that is bound to give us misery. Okay, Shobha Mataji, Sindhu Mataji, Deval Mataji. Each of you all can read one by one. A pure devotee of the Lord.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A pure devotee of the Lord is ashamed to ask anything. Am I audible, Mataji? Anything in self-interest from the Lord. But the householders are sometimes obliged to ask favor from the Lord, being bound by the tie of family affection. Srimati Kunti Devi was conscious of this fact, and therefore she prayed to the Lord to cut off the affectionate tie from her own kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. The Pandavas are here her own sons, and the Vrishnis are the members of her paternal family. Krishna was equally related to both families. Both the families require the Lord's help because both were dependent devotees of Lord of the Lord. Srimati Kunti Devi wished Sri Krishna to remain with her sons, the Pandavas, but by his doing so, her paternal house would be bereft of the benefits. All these partialities troubled the mind of Kunti, and therefore she desired to cut off the affectionate tie. A pure devotee cut off the limited ties of affection for his family and widens his activities of devotional service for all forgotten souls. The typical example is the band of 6 Goswamis who followed the path of Lord Chaitanya. All of them belonged to the most enlightened and cultured rich families of the higher caste. But for the benefit of the mass of population, they left their comfortable homes and became mendicants. To cut off all family affection means to broaden the field of activities. Without doing this, no one can be qualified as a Brahmana, a king, a public leader, or a devotee of the Lord. The personality of Godhead as ideal king showed this by example. Sri Ramachandra cut off the tie of affection for his devotees, the beloved wife, to manifest the qualities of an ideal king. Such personalities as Brahmana, a devotee, a king, or a public leader must be very broad minded in discharging their respective duties. Srimati Kunti Devi was conscious of this fact, and being weak, she prayed to be free from such bondage of family affection. The Lord is addressed as the Lord of the universe or the Lord of the universal mind, indicating his all powerful ability to cut the hard knot of family affection. Therefore, it is sometimes experienced that the Lord, out of his special affinity towards a weak devotee, breaks the family affection by force of circumstances arranged by his all powerful energy. By doing so, he causes the devotee to become completely dependent on him and thus clear the path of his going back to Godhead. Kunti was the daughter of Vrishni family and the wife of the mother of Pandava family. Generally, woman has affection for both her family, father's family and husband's family, and therefore Kunti prays to Krishna, I am a woman and women are generally attached to their families. So kindly cut off my attachment so that I may be thoroughly attached to you. Without you, both families are zero. I am falsely attached to these families, but my real purpose in life is to be attached to you. This is bhakti. Bhakti involves becoming free from the attachments of this material world and becoming attached instead to Krishna. One cannot become unattached, for one must be attached to something. But in order to become attached to Krishna or enter into the devotional service of the Lord, one has to become detached from material affection. People ordinarily go to Krishna to maintain their attachment to their material world. Oh God, they pray, give us our daily bread. They have attachment to this material world, and to live in this material world, they pray for supplies of material things so that they can maintain their status quo. This is called material attachment. Although, in one sense, of course, it is good that people go to God to secure their material position. That is not actually desirable. Rather than worshipping God to increase one's opulence in the material world, one should become free from the material attachment. For bhakti, therefore, we should be detached. Our suffering is due to our attachment because we are.
Well, thank you, Mataji. Haribol. Dandat Pranam.
Hari
Sorry, I was
Bol, Dandavat, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So param drishtva nivartate, right? That's what Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, right? Rasavrajam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. How can we develop higher taste, right? If we don't have to sever our attachment to our relatives, but we need to keep Krishna in the center, right? If we are caretakers on behalf of Krishna to take care of a certain set of people, then we do our duty as a service to them, and in serving them, we want to serve and please Krishna. So that is detachment in attachment, right? We cannot serve somebody whom we don't feel attached to. We need to love somebody to serve them, isn't it? As well as Radhanath Swami Maharaj says, to love means to please, and to love means to serve. To serve means to please. Yeah. So when we love someone, we serve them, right? But we should understand that our eternal relationship is with Krishna. All of the other relationships are given by Krishna to me. So in loving them, in serving them, is my expression of love and my expression of service to Lord Sri Krishna. So if that is the attitude with which we are serving those people whom we love in this material world, in connection with Krishna, then we are suitably detached, because we are not attached on a material platform. We are attached because of our connection through Lord Sri Krishna. So when Krishna is in the center of all of our attachments, and we view every person as a part and parcel of Krishna, and has been assigned to me by the Lord for engaging in service, whether it is my husband, whether it is my children, whether it is my family, whether it is my relatives, whether it is my society, whether it is my community, whether it is my country, I am supposed to do my duty as a citizen, as a wife, as a husband, as a daughter, as a mother, as a grandmother, but all in relation to the relationship with Krishna as the original Aham Bija Pratha Pita, as Krishna being the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And our love means to serve, not to ask. Right? That's why Krishna says, that's why Prabhupada says, it is better to have Lord Shri Krishna as our son. Right? Just now Adnan Prabhu offered Bhoga to their lordships. So when we offer Bhoga to the lordships, what do we think? Oh, we are offering Bhoga to Lord Shri Krishna. So Krishna will honor the Bhoga. Krishna will eat the rice, the sambar, the sabji and everything, whatever, and the aplam and whatever is being offered. And in this way, when Krishna accepts the Bhoga, then we honor that prasadam. So whatever we are doing, we have to eat. To live, we have to eat. To live, we have to sleep. Right? Sleep. What is that? Ahar, nidra, bhaya, maitram. Right? All of these are required. But we want to dovetail everything in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in this way, everything becomes Krishnaized. So we are attached to Krishna. We are attached to serving Krishna. We are attached to honoring Krishna Prasadam. So everything is dovetailed around Krishna. And when attachment to Krishna develops, automatically detachment to the material things automatically is a natural consequence. So Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Engage our senses in the service of the Lord and honor Krishna's prasadam. Accept whatever situation, whatever prasadam, whatever is given back by the Lord to us. Accept it as a mercy of the Lord and continue to try our best to engage in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is all. Right? We're also talking about that car example. Right? When we identify this car is mine, if something happens to that car, then we are affected. But when we understand that this car has been given to me by Krishna, and this car can be taken away by Krishna at any time, as long as the car belongs to me, I will use this car for the purpose of Krishna consciousness. Maybe to drive to the temple, maybe to take the books in that, to go for the proper book distribution. Right? And also to go to my office, because that is also my swadharma. So I use a car to perform my duty, and I do my duty for pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's how the car or the mobile or the laptop or whatever else I have, or I have been given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is being engaged in the service of the Lord. And that's how the proper utility of every object is attained. Next, Sindhu Mataji, go ahead. Our suffering is due to our attachment from there.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams.
Hare pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhupada Ki Jai. Our suffering is due to our attachment. Because we are materially attached, we desire so many material things, and therefore Krishna gives us the opportunity to enjoy whatever material facilities we want. Of course, one must deserve these facilities. First deserve, then desire. Suppose I want to become king. I must have pious activities behind me so that I can become the king. Krishna can give us whatever we want, even mukti, liberation. But bhakti is a special consideration, because when he gives someone bhakti, he becomes purchased by the bhakta and becomes a tool in the hands of the bhakta, even though he is the supreme powerful. Radharani, the symbol of the topmost bhakti, is so powerful that she has purchased Krishna. Therefore, Vaishnavas take shelter of the lotus feet of Radharani, for if she recommends, oh, here is a nice devotee, Krishna must accept him. To become the devotee of the Lord, one must be completely cleansed of all material attachments. This qualification is called Vairagya. Upon becoming a student of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya wrote 100 verses praising him. 2 of those verses are mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and one of them is this statement: Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shikshartam Eka Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sharira Dari Kripam Buddhir Yastam Aham Prapadye. Let me take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, who has descended in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach us real knowledge, his devotional service, and detachment from whatever does not foster Krishna consciousness. He has descended because he is an ocean of transcendental mercy. Let me surrender unto his lotus feet. CC Madhya 6.254. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya thus offered his prayer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who had now assumed the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just to teach people how to develop knowledge, become detached, and become pure devotees of Krishna. Although when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was only 24 or 25 years old, he had a lovable, beautiful wife and a devoted, affectionate mother, he gave up everything and took sannyasa, the renounced order of life. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a grihastha, householder, he was so much honored that merely by the direction of his finger, he was able to enlist thousands of people to join him in a civil disobedience movement. In Nadia, the city where he lived, his position was very respectable, and physically he was very beautiful. Yet he gave up his young, faithful, beautiful wife, his affectionate mother, his position, and everything else. This is called vairagya, renunciation. If someone who was nothing to possess says, I have renounced everything, what is the meaning of his renunciation? But if one has something and then he renounces it, his renunciation is meaningful. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's renunciation is unique. No one else could give up such a happy home, such honor, and such affection from mother, wife, friends, and students. Even Advaita Prabhu, although the age of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's father honored Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yet still Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave up everything. Why? Just to teach us. Apani Achari Prabhu Jivera Shikaya. He personally taught the whole world how one must detach oneself and become a devotee of Krishna. Therefore, when Rupa Goswami resigned his post as a government minister and met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Prayaga, he fell flat before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and offered obeisances with this prayer. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradishe Namaha. You are
Thank you,
most
Mataji.
magnanimous. Thank you.
Thank you. So these two are very, very important verses. We can memorize these verses. We did it as part of our last Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appearance, Gaura Purnima. We memorized all these verses. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Sikshatamikaha Purusha Puranaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripa Budiryastamaham Prapadye Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. So we are not people who say 90, 90, 90. Not this, not this. I will not use the laptop. I will not use this. What is that car? I will not use this mobile. Why? Because they are all material. I do not use them. That is not real renunciation. What is real renunciation? Anashaktasya vishayan yatharham upayunjatah nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yukta vairagyam uchyate. Yukta vairagya means we are not attached to the material objects. But whatever material objects are available, we want to utilize it in Krishna's service. Nirbandha Krishna sambandhe. You are not attached to that object. Tomorrow, if the laptop is not there, does not mean I cannot practice devotional service. Or if the mobile is not there, I cannot practice devotional service. Right? But when they are available, we are utilizing it for our Zoom classes, for hearing from the YouTube or Zoom from senior devotees. So utilizing these equipments or these tools for the purpose of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. But if these tools are not there, then we have to physically go to the temple and hear. The Bhagavatam class are going on. We have the Srimad Bhagavatam, we read. So in this way, our principles are strong. ABCD square. In fact, I was hearing Amarendra Prabhu, he was saying ABCDEF also. F is very wonderful. F is fleeing to Krishna. When there is a difficulty, we flee to Krishna. So otherwise, we talk about ABCD square. So, Amarendra, recently I was hearing his class, he was saying F, A, B, C, D, E, F. F means to flee to Krishna whenever there is a problem. Flee to Krishna means surrender to Krishna. Take shelter of Krishna. Krishna, I don't know. Situation is going beyond control. Right? I don't know what to do. I'm just surrendering. Like Draupadi surrendered. Right? She tried her best to protect herself. But when things were out of control, what do? Hey Krishna, hey Govinda, hey Madhava, hey Madhusudana. Hey Krishna, please protect me. I am helpless. So like that is fleeing to Krishna. That is complete surrender to Lord Sri Krishna. So in this way, when we completely surrender ourselves to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and we renounce everything, that means we renounce every other shelter of this material world, knowing well that nothing can provide us shelter. That is real renunciation. Otherwise, what do we have to renounce? We don't have anything. Even this body, which is made up of kapha, what is that? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, bhumi, rapo, nalo, vayu. And this kam, mano, buddhi, revacha, right? Everything, ahankar, this mind, intelligence, false ego, everything is given by Krishna. What do we have of our own that we can renounce? This is our free will. So we can renounce our tendency to get attached to material objects. We can renounce our tendency to want to exploit material nature, and we can develop the yukta vairagya, utilize our mind in manatrayate iti mantra, right? Remember the Lord by utilizing the mind. Chant the whole names of the Lord by utilizing the tongue. Hear the glories of the Lord by utilizing the ear. So in this way, we renounce our jada pravritti, right? Our tendency to want to enjoy the material world, and we engage our senses in the service of the Lord. And that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us. right? He had a beautiful wife. He had a wonderful mother, right? And he is the supreme Lord. Why should he renounce? He renounced simply to teach us, because he came in his avatar. He came as a pure devotee to teach us the principles of Bhakti Yoga, Vairagya Vidya, Nija Bhakti Yoga. When we become attached to Krishna through the process of Bhakti Yoga, automatically we will renounce our attachment to material things. Vairagya Vidya, Nija Bhakti Yoga. Sikshartham, to teach that Ekam Purusha Puranaha, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sikshartham Ekha Purusha Puranaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari, he came in the form of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kripa Ambuder Yastamaham Prapadye. And he is an ocean of mercy. And the same thing is Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradhayate. He is giving out Krishna Prema, right? Because the Nama and the Rupa of Krishna are not different. When we are chanting the holy names of the Lord, we are trying to develop love for the Lord, knowing well that Krishna and his holy names are not different, right? Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradhayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, Namne Gaurad Dvishye Namaha. And that Krishna, Gauranga Mahaprabhu are not different. And he is just simply distributing love of Krishna, right? And then Prabhupada is going on to talk about how merciful Lord Sri Krishna is. He is Namo Mahavadanya. He is the most merciful incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna. He is non-different from Krishna. Just give me 1 second, devotees. Hare Krishna. Sorry. He's non-different from Krishna, yet he is more merciful than even Lord Sri Krishna. That's why he's called Namo Mahavadanyaya. Krishna Prema Pradhayate. Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya. He is the same as Krishna. He is now incarnated as Sri Krishna Chaitanya. And he is Namo Mahavadanya. He is even more merciful than Lord Sri Krishna himself. Right? Krishna says, Ye tamam prapadyante tam sataiva vajamiham. Right? Krishna says, you surrender, I will reward you accordingly. And he says, Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam. Give up whatever is not favorable for bhakti, accept what is favorable for bhakti, etc. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not saying anything. He just told Nityananda Prabhu Haridas Thakur, go door to door and simply distribute Krishna Nam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Give everybody the association of Krishna. So in that way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most munificent incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is also avatari, as much as Lord Sri Krishna is also avatari, like that. All right, so let's quickly go ahead. Deval Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, Dandavat Mataji. Love of Krishna.
Okay, not from you are most. Okay. Love of Krishna is not an easy thing to obtain, because by this love one can purchase Krishna, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed his love of Krishna to anyone and everyone, even to the two drunkards Jagai and Madhai. Narottama Das Thakura has therefore sung Deena Hina Yata Chila Hari Name Udharila Tara Shakshi Jagai Madhai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so magnanimous that he delivered all kinds of sinful men simply by allowing them to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. The evidence of this is Jagai and Madhai. At that time, of course, there were two Jagais and Madhais, but at the present moment, by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his process of teaching, so many Jagais and Madhais are being delivered. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is pleased, he can give Krishna Prema, love of Krishna, to anyone, regardless of that person's qualification. If a person is giving charity, he can select anyone to take it. Without the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, understanding Krishna is very, very difficult. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye, Bhagavad Gita 7.3. Out of many millions of people, hardly one tries to make his life spiritually successful. People simply work like animals, not knowing how to make a success of human life. One's human life is successful when one understands Krishna, otherwise one remains an animal. Anyone who is not Krishna conscious, who does not know who Krishna is no better than an animal. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this concession to the fallen souls of this age. Simply chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and you will be delivered. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's special concession. Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Vrajet. Bhagavatam 12.3.51. Now, Kunti was not an ordinary devotee. She had become one of the relatives of Krishna, and therefore Krishna had come to offer her respects. But still, she said, Krishna, I have become attached to two families, my father's family and my husband's family. Kindly help me become detached from these families. Thus, she illustrated that one must become detached from society, friendship, and love, all of which will otherwise entangle us. As long as I think I belong to this family, I belong to this nation, I belong to this religion, I belong to this color, and so on, there is no possibility of becoming Krishna conscious. As long as one thinks that one is American, Indian, or African, that one belongs to this family, or that one is the father, mother, husband, or wife of this or that person, one is attached to material designations. I am spirit soul, and all these attachments belong to the body, but I am not this body. This is the essence of understanding. If I am not this body, then whose father or whose mother am I? The supreme father and mother is Krishna. We are simply playing the parts of father, mother, sister, or brother as if on stage. Maya, the material nature, is causing us to dance, telling us, you are a member of this family and a member of this nation. Thus, we are dancing like monkeys. In the Bhagavad Gita 3.27, it is said, Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyati. This verse indicates that because the living entity has associated with a certain quality of nature, nature is making him dance according to the quality. And thus one is thinking, I am this or I am that. This information provided in Bhagavad Gita is the basic principle of understanding, and it will give one freedom. The most essential education is that which enables one to become free from the bodily concept of life. But unfortunately, scientists, philosophers, politicians, and other so called leaders are misleading people so that they become more attached to the body. It is a human life that offers the opportunity to become Krishna conscious, but these rascals are stopping that opportunity by alluring people to bodily designations, and therefore they are the greatest enemies of human civilization. One attains a human body after evolving through 84 life forms, from aquatics to plants and then to trees, insects, birds, beasts, and so on. Now, people do not know what is the next step in evolution, but that is explained in Bhagavad Gita 9.25. Yanti Deva Vrata Devan, as the next step in evolution, one may, if one desires, go to a higher planetary system. Although every night people see so many planets and stars, they do not know what these higher planetary systems are. But from the Shastra, the Vedic literature, we can understand that on these higher planetary systems, material comforts are available that are many, many times greater than those on this planet. On this planet, we may live for at most 100 years, but on the higher planetary systems, one can live for a lifetime. We cannot even calculate. For example, the lifetime of Brahma, who lives on the highest planet, is stated in Bhagavad Gita 8.17. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Ahar Yad Brahma Viduhu. We cannot calculate even 12 hours of Brahma with our mathematical figures. But even Brahma has to die. Even though one may have a longer duration of life, no one can live permanently in this material world. Nonetheless, if one prepares oneself, one may go to the higher planetary systems, or similarly, one may go to the Pitralokas. There one may meet one's forefathers if they have been eligible to go there. Similarly, if one desires, one may also remain here on earth. Or Yanti Madhyajino Pima. If one becomes a devotee of Krishna, one can go to him. One may go to hell, one may go to heaven, or one may go back home, back to Godhead, as one likes. Therefore, an intelligent person should think, if I have to prepare for my next life, why not prepare to go back home, back to Godhead? One's present body will be finished, and then one will have to accept another body. What kind of body one will accept is stated in Bhagavad Gita 14.18. Urdhavam gachanti sattvastaha. Those who are in the mode of goodness, avoiding the four principles of sinful life, will live their next life on a higher planetary system. If one does not become a pure devotee of the Lord, if one follows the regulative principles for avoiding sinful life, one will remain in goodness and get this opportunity. Human life is meant for this purpose. But if we waste our life just living like cats and dogs, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, then we shall lose this opportunity. Rascals, however, do not. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So, Abrahma Bhavana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna, right? Prabhupada is talking about what he explains in the purport. Right? Very, very difficult to even, to read 8.4 million species itself. We are able to read so wonderfully because we've read it in so many of Prabhupada's books. Otherwise, we, count the zeros and to even mention it is very difficult. So, 8.4 million species, it's given. Jalajanava Stavara Lakshamshati. So, everything is given in the scriptures, right? Right from reptiles to aquatics to plants, to animals. So we've gone through all of those processes of evolution. And finally, we've crossed 800,000 species of life. 8.4 million, 8 million species. And finally, we've come to that 4 lakh human species, right? And this human species also, there are so many varieties of 400,000, depending on the evolution of the consciousness, right? So some or the other, by the grace of Guru and Gauranga, we've got this Bhaktilata Bija. Brahmande Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhaktilata Bija. Some or the other, we've got this Bhaktilata Bija. So we need to cultivate that Bhaktilata Bija. How do we cultivate it? We cultivate it by watering, by the watering process, by giving it adequate sunlight, by giving proper, by having a proper, foundation or a proper fertile soil, right? So how do we get all of that, right? That is through the process of sadhu sangha. That is through the process of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is through the process of hearing attentively. That is through the process of avoiding the weeds, which are the anarthas, which are the offenses, to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Just like when like a gardener, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu compares himself to a gardener. How many plants can I cultivate? I need more and more hands who can come and serve as gardeners like that. So he's already, we've got so many gardeners already. All the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, the disciples of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they're all very, very wonderfully doing their best to distribute. So we should also try to do our best in practicing Krishna consciousness to the best of our ability, to preach Krishna consciousness to the best of our ability, and become effective soldiers in the army of Lord Sri Krishna, in the army of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the army of Srila Prabhupada, whose Senapati Bhakta is the Senapati of this army is Prabhupada. The movement has been created by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? He's appeared so that Krishna Prema can be obtained by all. And Prabhupada was the chosen Senapati Bhakta who took it even to the Western world, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only preached in India, to South India, and then he went to Vrindavan, and then he was there in Jagannath Puri. He went to South India. So all of these places, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted everyone into pure devotees of the Lord. But he reserved the seat for the person to go to the Western world to preach. That is his divine grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya ISKCON, because of whom we are all sitting together under the umbrella of ISKCON, whether online, offline, hearing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, with the wonderful purports given by Prabhupada. And hence we are able to even apply all of these teachings in our life. So our sincere gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, because of whom we know the purpose of human form of life. We know what to pray, when to pray, how to pray, what is the goal of life. He taught us our Sambandha Gyan, our Abhideya Gyan, and the Prayojana Gyan. Very grateful to Prabhupada. And we can express our gratitude best by following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. Teachings of Queen Kunti ki Jai, Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Nitai, God Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna He. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna He. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Raksha Mam. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna He. Jaya Gauranitai Jai, Jai Jagannath Jai, Jai Baladev Jai, Jai Subhadra Jai, Jai Sudarshan Jai, Bala Gopal Jai, Rukmini Vitthal Jai, Prahlad Narsingha Jaya, Lakshmi Narsingha Jaya, Guruvayurappa Jaya, Radha Krishna Jai Chaturbhuja Shaligram Shila, Hayagriva Shaligram Shila, Gopal Shaligram Shila, Kurmaji Shaligram Shila, Lakshmi Narsingha Shaligram Shila, Shad Goswami Jaya,